Oh.
I'm back. We're streaming. There you go. We can start.
Dejan, what time did you call it? Dejan, what time did you call this?
Well, this isn't being such a rude on me.
Is that like 10 minutes late? 20 minutes late?
It's actually 20 minutes after we said.
You're either early or you're late. And in this instance, you've joined the podcast at 20 to 4.
If you're going to say the
late, if
same,
I'm right, yeah.
if you're going to say the same, it is if you're not early, you're late, not you're early or late.
Hey. Welcome to the PND-Cast. I'm your host for today. I'm staying low energy for the time being because if I go high energy, I fear I'm going to erupt like some Icelandic volcano. So I'm keeping this muted and calm. With me today, we have...
I'm Dejan.
Peter, apparently. This is the vibe we're going for, okay?
Yeah. I'm happy for barely.
We're going relaxed, calm, almost ASMR. No one? Great. Right. Guys, how's your last 2 weeks been? This is why I shouldn't host either, because I am just like...
How's my last 2 weeks been? How about this for a question? Ask me how my last hour's been.
Oh.
How's your last hour been, Deja?
Oh.
Sadness and frustration. I'll start with the sadness.
And why is that?
Well, going into this, I had a little bit of time beforehand, to which I've been playing some Red Dead Redemption recently. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And I knew I was pretty close to the end. Did not know I was at the end of it. And in order to be here on time, be here 5 minutes early, I switched it off during the final quest. As Arthur was dying. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
God, it's spoilers. Hey.
So I'm going to have to redo my heartbreak. And then...
As your last.
20 minutes later...
Deja, I'm going to need you to actually finish your sentences. Because this is going statement, 20-minute pause.
20 minutes ago, I was capable of finishing sentences.
How are you doing?
The last 2 weeks have been interesting. One, it's obviously living life in London. It's been work, and then a bit of laziness on a weekend. Pretty much nothing to do because of obvious reasons. But the last hour, we've obviously had the delay of the host who's been taking his time to get in, and then we've had me and Dejan had great connection, and then as soon as Mr. Host joins, it all explodes. But to be honest, Nick, we've been all right. We've been listening to a bit of Justin Bieber's new album today.
First of all, I don't know what you mean, because it was Dejan who reconnected to the podcast at 20 to 4. I think you'll find that makes him the one who was late. I'm just going off like King of the Hill rules. Last man to get back into the podcast when it starts is the one who's late.
Oh.
No, I got like surprise attacked with a Sunday dinner at 10 o'clock last night. Where
it's not a Saturday dinner.
No. I got surprise attacked with you're making the Sunday dinner at 10 o'clock last night.
Was that?
I may as well have been slapped across the head with a side of beef, just like at 10 o'clock, just like, oh yeah, well, Nick, you can do it. You can manage doing a podcast and cooking a full Sunday roast at the same time.
Was this before, during, or after they set a fire to get your attention?
This was after the set of fire to get my attention. I choose to believe that the setting of the fire was just a ploy, so I would be too distracted to notice that they were planning to make me make a Sunday dinner.
Yeah. It was intimidation tactics.
Just-
You know what part is? What's even more annoying is I managed to get the beef in the oven at 1:15.
Yeah.
I was already set up from PWAP last night. I had my microphone, my laptop, everything fully set up, ready to go.
Yeah.
I get in, open my laptop, kick Danielle out, who has now since come and rejoined me. So we have at least one listener.
Oh, Teen's
who
also
can only
laughing.
hear my input.
He's also listening. Oh,
Sorry, lads, we need to rub it in.
tell Danielle to get in. Tell Danielle to get in chat.
First of all, Danielle, Dejan says to get in chat.
Get on
Danielle
Twitch.
said to tell him to bugger off.
Get
She
on
said it very
Twitch.
quietly. No, the fact is, I had that beef in the oven at 1:15. We were supposed to start at 20 past. I got in here, had everything kicked out, opened my laptop, and was ready to join at 20 past. And for whatever reason, Citrix receiver, which I have never once used in my life, which is only ever used to connect to desktops remotely, and was installed from when I used to use this laptop at uni, even though I never used that app,
Yeah.
just decided to update overnight
Yeah.
and just completely fucked my computer. Just completely. Like, totally raw. Totally out of the blue.
Oh.
So, I couldn't access any apps, couldn't use the start menu, couldn't restart it softwise, so I had to do the hard reset. The hard reset took 15 minutes, which is the longest it's ever taken this computer to boot. And then when it did come back online, Discord takes an hour to load on my computer.
I wonder whether anyone's ever said the phrase "I couldn't reset it softwise."
It's a very technical phrase, Dejan. You wouldn't know unless you were in the IT industry. Get at me. So,
Look at our host.
and he didn't even wear the suit like he said he was going to do last week. Well, last episode.
Look at our host.
Man, if I had time to wear a suit today, I would have.
This is such a downgrade.
Have you at least got your notebook?
I have my notes. I've got them right here.
Oh, right.
I know
it doesn't have as much of it doesn't have much
writing the notes down on paper.
It doesn't have much razzmatazz as Pete ticking things off.
I tell you what.
Actually, no. To be fair, because iPhones are a technological leap forward from paper, they have little ticky boxes that I can tick as I go.
Oh, right. That's nice.
I don't even need to have a pen. It's just a significant upgrade, just like I'm a significant upgrade in host.
It's like going from Debussy to Emil Kraft. That's what it feels like. This is the downgrade we're experiencing. That's a very Newcastle.
This is downgrading from
the We've went from Zanetti to Kraft.
Yeah, that's a bigger climb. We'll do that.
Since we've decided this opening is going to be roasting me, I'm going to move this on to roasting someone else on the podcast.
Okay.
Oh no.
Danielle was just screaming for us to roast Dejan. That's later. Dejan's a bit of a harder target.
Oh no! No!
I was gonna say it.
Tea ready?
I was gonna say who's it gonna be? Dejan or the Virgin?
Hey!
It's regrown, Pete.
To be fair, Pete is shown up with what looks like a Turtle Beach half headset and a Nike golf t-shirt. He's giving off big 40-year-old virgin energy. Hi, Danielle, you're on camera.
Is she wearing a dressing gown?
No, she's wearing my hoodie.
Oh, I see.
So, Dejan, I was wondering if you could furnish me with this information.
Yeah.
Damn.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, I know what this is going to be.
I
know what's coming.
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably Das Cabinet de Dr. Cagliari.
Okay, now give me something which I can actually type out on Google.
Okay. Let's go for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What year do you think that came out?
1969.
1969. Thank you very much, Dejan. Pete, what's your favorite movie of all time?
I think it's quite hard. I think it's changed probably a few times. I'd probably say my favorite movie to recent date would probably be. You can't be Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's got to be in the conversation. I'll probably say Forrest Gump for now. I'm going to put it down, but I think I could probably think of a better one.
Pete,
But that is Forrest.
what year did Forrest Gump come out?
1993.
94, actually, but
No, it
you
was
know, because
94.
I already
Yeah,
knew
no,
what
it
your
was.
answer. I already fucking knew what your answer was going to be, and I'd already gotten it up on Google for the answer.
I will say, Nick, if you had allowed me to go Das Cabinet, it would have been even funnier because that was made in 1920.
Even better. Dejan, did you know something about our dear friend Pete?
I might.
He has a hard cutoff on a time period that he will not watch movies from before.
What is it?
Pete, would you like to explain your cutoff on movies?
It's 1990, but I have dabbled in a few before recently. Like in the last year, I've watched When Harry Met Sally, which is quite the film. Meg Ryan.
Yeah, she's fit.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah.
Pete, do you want to explain why you don't watch movies from before 1990?
The quality's not as good, is it? Really? Like not as in like the content quality, but like the actual like quality of picture. And, like you know, with the 1950 films, they're just the accents. You just can't get over them. They're so like because they make them on purpose like that, don't they? They make the actresses and actors like speak like that to kind of um present it's in film.
You're posh.
Pete, have you ever watched the original Star Wars trilogy?
I think so, but years ago.
You ever watch the Terminator films?
Nope.
You watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
I feel like we could.
I don't think so.
I'm going to go through the top 10 movies of all time, according to IMDb.
That's a cinematic masterpiece, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's a pretty movie. It's one of those where like every frame was meant to be like a painting.
Pete, you ever watch The Godfather?
I've watched half of it and actually turned it off.
Okay, so I'm just going through the best movies of all time according to IMDb. So Pete's already admitted he watched half of the second best movie of all time and then turned it off. Yep. Godfather Part 2, I'm going to guess you didn't even start that one.
No, yeah.
You're looking at 1972 and 1974.
To be fair, The Godfather is a 3-hour film.
It flies by, though. I watched that for the first time.
Forrest Gump's 2 hours 20.
Yeah, but it's a classic.
Nah, shit.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. Godfather, on the other hand, just pure shit.
Come on, then.
One of my ex-girlfriends.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966. That's 13. Pete's never even thought about watching that because it's like how many years before the cutoff?
It was 1966.
I don't even know what it is.
You don't know what The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is? It's the Western movie. Clint Eastwood.
Oh, don't like. Oh,
Sergio Leone.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard.
It's 3 hours and 40 minutes of brilliance. I don't think it's quite that long, but it's a fucking long movie. Might be 3 hours 20.
I can't believe that, Pete, you've got like, other than when you're at work, you've got nothing but time on your hands. And you still haven't dabbled in movies from before 1990. You might have watched the odd one, but how do you manage to go that far in your life with avoiding movies from before that time period?
I like that you said that he has nothing but time on his hands. It's like you're already looking at him
Except
like
when he's working.
the people who aren't in relationships. The freedom.
I was
pretty much.
I do. You are saying, and you did go. You've got all this time on your hands. At the moment, I'm waking up at 6 in the morning and getting back at 5 at night. So it's not, and then that doesn't include cooking me dinner, going for a run and stuff, and then sleep.
Oh yeah, to be fair, this is Mr. Summers who runs for like 4 hours at a time. The same man who, when he was locked in on lockdown, is like, oh yeah, can't be asked to do anything else, so at 12 o'clock at night, I'm just going to go for a 20-kilometer run.
Mate, it's the best time to go for one because there's no one around, no cars, no people to get in my way. So I can just go and just run and be in the wild.
I used to go for walks at 3 a.m. in Sunderland.
You're fucking nuts. You know what it's also the best time for? Sleeping?
No. Here I go to sleep around 8 a.m. usually. That's a nice time.
But it's just like no one because like without being funny, I am pretty quick runner. Like I'm pretty quick, and if people get in my way, it slows me time down, and I can't afford for me time to be slowed down by people getting in my way. So I prefer to do it at night time where it's just nice and clear, and I can just get on with it.
Yeah, for me, it was just like when I was still with my ex-fiance, we used to like walk around Sunderland at 4 a.m. taking pictures. It was fun.
Yeah, it's nice
Hoping
taking
you'll
pictures
get
when there's
stabbed as well, I imagine.
A few times we went talking to people that I'm pretty sure were robbing houses, but they were quite nice to us.
It's Sunderland, it's a general pastime.
Well, there was news reports the next day as well, but like we just had a nice chat with them.
Yeah.
Got on.
Just gotta have a bit of crack on, bit of banter. Stops them from robbing you.
Well, you can tell what they're into. They were dressed all in black and had like black woolly hats, which at any moment could go down.
To be fair, I'm on all black today. Ready to rob some houses.
I don't
no.
think many people have robbed houses dressed as a fucking football league referee.
Right, so now I was a golfer, and then I was a football referee. What next? I do look more like a referee than a golfer.
Yeah, not Premier League. Not Premier League quality.
Football league. What league?
We're thinking like below. We're thinking like Vanarama National.
Vanarama National. All right, brilliant. So I'm reffing Barnet now.
Why?
Maybe
why do you own a referee shirt? Did you used to referee?
I did used to ref, but this is not a ref shirt. This is like just like a sports shirt.
You're exactly the sort of person that would referee.
What's that supposed to mean? You're the person who looks. Anything I bring the opposite.
Nah, not if you get to know you.
I see Pete doing a Mike Dean. I can see him with his his shirt tucked into his shorts, pulled up to his nipples.
Before you get to know you, you're just like, oh, Pete, he's cool. But like when you get to know you, you're just like, respect for the rules.
Respect for the rules. Yeah, I take some abuse, don't I? Dear me, is it still my turn to be roasted, Mr. Host? So we're moving on now.
I was actually just gonna say, since I know one movie that I think was from before 1990. Dejan, you're gonna have to forgive me if I'm wrong, that we all watched together, and me and Dejan had a fabulous night watching together.
Yeah, 1975, yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, that was miles before 1990.
Yeah, 1975 it was.
Yeah.
First of all, what a film. Dejan, do you remember when you introduced me to that film?
Not quite. I remember kind of. I was drunk, I think.
Sounds about right.
We were drunk. Let me paint the scene for you. We went out for a drink. Me, you, and your, at the time, fiancé, now ex-fiancé. We were at the pub. Nick, foolishly, missed the last metro home.
Not like you.
Dejan, do you remember what your suggestion was?
What?
Because it was your fiance's first year at uni.
Yeah.
You went, oh.
Hang on a minute.
We've been getting...
We'll stop you there. Your fiance's first year at uni. Do you mean our first year at uni as well?
It was my second year, first of all. And technically Dejan's second year as well.
But it was first year of the course.
Yeah, but I'd been at uni already for 2 years.
Take that, Mr. Host. Yeah, I'm coming after you.
All right. Fucking Mike Dean, calm down.
That's what I mean. You are a football league referee, just like, excuse me, a technicality play.
Whistle, red
a technical foul.
Sorry, Mr. Host, I've disrupted you there. What were you going to say?
Sorry, Mr. Host, you're going to need to step back a few meters in line with this disappearing spray.
Motherfucking obstruction.
Yeah, no, it was,
Oh dear.
for some reason, Dejan, and Pete, is this not the most Dejan thing ever? He was living, like, within walking distance of, like, shops, bars, all that stuff. But instead, he was getting alcohol mail delivered, namely bottles of wine, to his partner's flat at the time. Hadn't taken into account that at some point she was going to have to leave, and that all these bottles of wine were going to need finishing. And not only that, his partner's family didn't know that she drank, even though she was
I
at
didn't know
uni and
that.
living in halls. Even
I didn't
though.
know that.
So Dejan was like, look, we have like a load of wine and it needs to be drank before tomorrow because she's getting picked up. They don't know she drinks. We need help. Come back to the flat. We'll watch Rocky Horror and we'll drink wine. Dejan, can you remember what time I left the flat?
Oh,
That
I was
does sound good.
asleep. I remember now. I was asleep. So like 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
8 a.m. the next morning. I didn't sleep.
I slept.
I
slept
drank
early.
red wine. To be fair,
Oh, your
you
head.
kind of. First of all, yes, ow, my head. Second of all, there's nothing worse than sneaking into bed, getting nice and snuggled up, and then hearing other people's in your house alarms go off so they can get up for work.
No, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, that's happened to me. Yeah.
But it was. Dejan, do you remember what the game we played that night was?
No.
Your fiance, well, at the time partner, would leave the room and you would find ways to get into the gayest pose possible
Oh yeah.
to make her think she was cheating on you when you walked back in.
I was cheating on her.
Yes, that way around. Pete, when did you watch Rocky Horror for the first time with Dejan?
I believe it was at your household, Mr. Host. It was the three of us, and believe it or not, Dejan's ex-partner.
And Danielle.
We were watching. Oh yeah, and Danielle, and we were
Yeah,
drinking.
and our
That was the
partner.
first time we drank gin. That was that was a good day. That was a good night. That was a good night.
I'm going to say, first of all, gin's like a top tier drink, first of all.
Pink
Oh,
gin.
gin's the best.
Pink gin's great. I like pink gin a lot.
I'm really
Salt
glad it's
gin?
made a resurgence. Dejan, remember that time that I snapped my ankle and the night before I was due to have physiotherapy on it, we drank a pub dry of pink gin?
Oh yeah.
Hang on a
that was a
second.
fucking brilliant night as well because we ended up chatting up a waitress and she was just like, for our friend, we both me and Nick were in relationships.
First of all, yeah.
And we're just like at the end, she's like, would we have your number? And for our friend, and she was like, no, for either of you, okay.
Are you sure I wasn't the friend?
Nah, you weren't. Would have been funny. she literally she said that in front of him, just like, no, I'm interested in one of you two.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, the poor bugger.
And Nick was like, I'm in a relationship, and I was like, I'm in a relationship too, but you know that could end at any moment.
Why did you send it my way? That could end at any moment.
Well,
Oh,
was I
wow.
wrong? Was I wrong, Pete?
I mean, you weren't wrong.
At the time.
You can't just pass. You know, I didn't speak to her until afterwards.
Deary me. Deary me.
I'm going to segue here and give her something we can really sink our teeth into.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of games for us to play today, which I'm actually quite
Ooh.
excited about.
Okay.
What games, Mr. Host?
Nick's really put effort into this. Like, he didn't want this to be any effort.
Effort into this.
He didn't turn up on time, but he put effort in.
He turned up 20 minutes late.
Let's be real. Pete, you went to uni with me for 3 years. Does that not accurately express just about 90% of my time in uni?
Oh yeah,
He didn't show up on time, but he put effort in.
before.
I just didn't show up and I didn't put the effort in, but I still got the grades.
Yeah.
I mean, that was me. That was me in my master's year. That was when I just stopped giving a fuck. So, First one I'm going to say, it's less of a game, more of a hypothetical.
Okay.
Oh.
Coronavirus has fucked the planet a bit.
Yeah.
Fucked the planet a bit.
What's
Society's
that?
on its collapse.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Pete. The world economy is plummeting because there is a shipping container, like freighter, stuck in the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
I'm preparing myself for some kind of post-apocalyptic battle royale. It's genuinely getting to the point where I can see it turning into some kind of Mad Max situation. I want to ask you guys a hypothetical. If you were stuck in a Hunger Games style battle royale, one man must be left standing, what would your strategy be?
Well, my general strategy would be to stay alive while killing.
Thanks, fucking Captain Obvious. I do have some theories about what your guys' strategy would be, but I just want to hear yours out first.
I think
Pete,
you
you
know
got anything?
exactly what I was. Firstly, how much time have I got to prepare for this?
Let's call it, because you see, I'm ranging somewhere between like slow apocalyptic societal decline and Hunger Games. You're getting chucked in and you just have to kind of run around and fuck around and find out. So I'm going to go somewhere in the middle where you've had like a week, you knew it's coming. You haven't had any extra, like you're not going to have like weapons delivered to your door, but you've known it's coming. You've had some time to think over your strategy. What are you going with?
Right. I know the exact plan. In the loft,
Right?
buy plenty of rice and beans, and just sit there. Wait out, then go out the house, and maybe come up with like one little weapon, so like maybe like a sharp stick with a spike on the end, just in case someone tries to come in the loft.
A sharp stick with a spike in the end. Well, like presumably to cook the rice, you have access to a kitchen. Why not just use one of the knives?
No, because it's not long enough. It needs to be it needs to be like a poking stick, so I can like don't have to get too close. Get out of my loft.
Okay, so Pete's going for the hide in a hole for as long as he possibly can and then run around with a stick method. Dejan, other than like kill and stay alive, what are you going for?
Well, if it's like, I don't know, like, I'd probably just, I have a heart condition. I'm dying anyway. I would just roam about and go out.
Dejan's just gonna roll onto his back, show his belly to the sun, and hope life.
No. I'll try to take as many people with me as I could. Like I planned to anyway.
Okay.
It doesn't really change my plans. This.
Oh dear.
Dejan's is spot on what I thought he was gonna say. Dejan's I just assumed was gonna be run around like a lunatic, hope he kills enough people that he ends up surviving anyway.
Yeah.
Pete, yours is the complete opposite to what I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, is it? What did you think I was gonna say?
For a man who likes to run and can run 20 kilometers at a time without stopping, I presumed your strategy was just going to be to run in circles. I thought you were going to try and find like a 10, 20 kilometer loop and just hope that the other people couldn't catch you up.
No, but that's what I would do. Like eventually, like I'd stay in the hole with my rice and beans. There, quite a lot of people die, so there's more room in the world. So it means that when I do see people, I've got my long stick to chase them.
The key to survival in most things is staying mobile and moving quickly. Like just react straight away.
When it's not if you're in the open, because then everyone will see you and then you're dead. Whereas if you hide for a bit, let a few people die, and then come out with your long stick, you'll be fine.
What I really enjoyed when I was like, reading, watching the Hunger Games, all that shit, they showed off that like I think the method which basically won was never fight unless you're defending yourself, which is horseshit. Like if you only ever fight when you're defending yourself, total horseshit. You're gonna get found and someone's gonna like impale you.
No, that's my strategy. Stay in the loft, nice and quiet, do a bit of an Anne Frank, and then
I do appreciate the fact
you
that
do know that
Dejan
Anne Frank failed at the end.
Yeah, but that was because she was with people. That was the problem. People were making too much noise. If it was just me, I'd just be sitting there chilling.
The real mistake was when she got bought a drum kit.
Oh dear.
That was always one of my favorite jokes of my dad.
I do
don't know
appreciate
why.
that in Pete's plan, either he has a fully functioning kitchen suite in his loft, or once or twice a day he's going to cautiously crawl into his kitchen and try and make rice without getting caught.
Mate, you could easily do that. Like,
Also, he could, there might be, in this post-apocalyptic thing, of course, gas and electricity still works.
Now you see,
yeah, but I'll just have raw rice.
Does that?
You're gonna have raw rice.
Die.
Says a man who's never tried to eat raw rice.
Oh, it's awful. But I would do it. Gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm also assuming, Hunger Games style, that the people involved in this know who the other people they've got to outlast are. So I'm assuming that, like, Pete manages to get into the top 10 and people are going, like, where the fuck's this the Summarize kid? We've got to go find him. Is he in his loft?
Oh yeah, but if there's only a few, then I'd come out. That's the point. I'd wait till a lot of people were out the competition, and then I'd come out later on.
Would anyone go to the cornucopia?
No, because that's highlighted in the Hunger Games as being a stupid fucking decision. And it is actually. It's one of the few things that I think she got bang on was, hey, all these weapons are in the middle if you're feeling brave enough. And it's like, yeah, but so's everyone else who's a fucking idiot as well.
Yeah, but you get one lucky idiot.
I do appreciate though that
watch the Hunger Games.
I've
half
watched
decent movies. Watch them if you've got nothing else to do. They're after 1990, so you'll be fine.
one of my ex-girlfriends made me watch them. They weren't that great.
Yeah, and they're very average.
Yeah.
I do appreciate though that it highlights that the two main losing styles were either people who tried to hide for too long, generally got royally fucked, or the people who went out too aggressive usually get royally fucked.
Do you know
which I'm pretty glad encapsulates your two approaches.
No, the key is it's a film 1 and 2. My approach is just to stay quiet at the start.
Nick,
to wipe a few people out, then come out with me stick.
I can also guarantee, Nick, you would die with your last words being "yes, dear."
Yeah, Danielle would end up going like, we need some.
We're
gonna eat your leg today.
It would go down to the last two. You're talking about fucking eating the berries, and Danielle's just like, imagine the rabbits.
Now, I've already accepted. One of my greatest fears in life is a zombie apocalypse actually happening. I am not scared of zombies. I'm scared of the inevitability. I've already accepted in a post-apocalyptic scenario. I have no valuable skills that will allow me to survive. If it happens in a body of water, I might be able to outswim them.
Mate, stick with me. Get your stick. We'll stay in the loft. We'll keep each other company, and then we'll come out with sticks.
This ends with Pete chasing me down with a pointy stick and stabbing us in the spine.
I reckon Pete's main downfall is just like, I haven't been on FIFA Ultimate Team for 2 years.
Mate, no, the Ultimate Team's alright. I think I'd do alright. Like you said, I think my speed running would do well. I would eat food high in carbohydrates, like keep energy, and like eat small and ration. And then like be wise, wait for everyone to come like into the thing.
Keane's asked you to stop with the stick, Pete.
Leave me and my stick alone.
Actually, you came for me earlier this week, Pete.
Ooh.
We've mentioned it a couple of times, but I have an ex-fiance, and you were just like, yeah, 5 of my friends have had engagements. And Dejan's 2 of them.
No, it was 4 and 2 of them. No, that wasn't common, because it was like, because I thought you were going to go like, actually, I've been engaged twice. Like, so I was doing it because I knew
if
it wasn't you, it was going to be Nick.
I mean,
going.
What I was going to do, as soon as I said that, I was going to be like, actually, I've been engaged 3 times, bitch.
Oh, dear. There we go.
I can't tell you all of them.
Fair, sometimes I
Why?
forget that Dejan's currently engaged. It just it slips my mind.
You know, my
You
engagement
don't forget
slept.
about my situation.
My engagement slipped my ex's mind too.
Yeah, you're quite happily married to your right hand.
Right?
Occasionally cheating on it with your left.
What we implying, Nicholas?
Pete,
I thought this was a...
after so many years, have you started to get bored? Like, did you start like freshening it up with yourself?
No comment.
I'm not gonna speak about that environment, especially because of some standards what I have to abide by within my job occupation, which I'd prefer not to speak about. But along the lines of getting bored not in a relationship, I don't know. I think it's like I'm quite the traveler, honest. I couldn't do half the stuff if I had like
You're a
someone
bit
to
nomadic,
abide
yeah.
by. So like, yeah, sometimes it could be quite useful, but at the same time, it's quite nice to have the freedom to do what I want, basically.
Yeah, I've never wanted to travel. I like Newcastle, but I also like here.
Says
Basically,
the man living in Vietnam.
I don't want to move about. I'm here. I shall stay.
Yeah, I quite like a ponder.
Like Nick, when you get married, I'm gonna put out there. I'm a part of the wedding. You know, you can pick whatever, just as long as it's like groomsmen or above. I can be best man. I can be wife. I can be, or just invite me to the reception. The amount
I did
of
float
weddings.
out the idea to Dejan. I did float out to Danielle the idea of either Dejan or Pete being the officiant at my wedding, only on the understanding that Pete would be dressed as a military man.
Jewish.
She knocked that back pretty quickly. But I would ask you guys, on the Battle Royale situation, final question. Out of the three of us, who lasts longest?
Well, we all know. Because we've already clarified, right? I'm going to go through this. You two are just going to be quiet for a minute, and I'm just going to say my debate, and this is going to be the end of it. You two are not even going to get a say. So, Dejan's already said his tactic. His heart's absolutely Donald Ducked. So he's going out, murdering everyone in sight. While he's doing that, I'm going to still be relaxing, eating me rice and beans. So he's out the equation even before I get out my little hiding spot. And I said the loft, but I'm going to change it just in case there is an apocalypse. But I'm not going to tell you where it is. Probably somewhere in Wales so I can hunt down sheep eventually. And then Nick's already said that he would be useless because he's got no essential skills. So it comes to me when I'm hiding for the start. And then once I get out, I'm quite the active man. So I can rather run away or sneak up on my prey and whack them with the stick. Sorry, Heen, but the stick is important.
I can't wait until the apocalypse comes. The meteors are showering down. Gabriel comes with his golden trumpet, and Pete goes, "To Wales!"
to Wales.
The only place in the world that has sheep. Where else am I going to go?
Mate, it's slowly populated. It's quite close, and it's got a ton of food to hunt down. Like, how it must not be hard to hunt down sheep. And it's wool to keep you warm.
I also like the opinion that Peter de Samara is a man who has no combat training, assumes that he's just going to be able to chase someone down with a stick and win in a fight. I like the idea that the first time he tries it, he comes up against an MMA fighter who just chokes him out.
Hey, you're not allowed an MMA. You're not allowed a long stick in an octagon. They don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, you know. And plus, have you ever seen my arm bar? I've got quite a good arm thing I do. I'm gonna take people down, and then I just have to grab my stick and then just grab them in the heart. Done. I'm telling you, I'm the man to have. Me and my stick.
I'm at least convinced if me and Pete's skill set was combined, would at least last a little while. I know somewhat how to fight. Pete can run very far and make sharp sticks. Dejan's fucked. We've already established that.
To be fair,
I feel like Pete would outlast me unless I could steal a boat, at which point I intend on living on a boat for a while.
That's a good idea.
If I wasn't so, like, just, like, willing to throw my life away, like, I reckon I would do very well. I do have skill. I can fight. I can at least do that.
Here's another quick hypothetical.
I can work out the rest.
Quick hypothetical. It's the apocalypse. Pete's finally come out of his loft. He needs food. Dejan's heart hasn't given out yet. I've had to come back to shore because I'm out of food on the boat. What's the largest animal you think you could beat in a fight? Barely.
Giraffe.
That's a bold answer. Giraffes are fucking terrifying. Have you ever seen them swing their neck and shit?
Give me.
Yeah.
Nah, give me. I'll get under it. I'll get under it.
Yeah, or do I not have the stick?
You have the stick.
Oh, give me it.
It's a fair fight. So...
Give me a stick and I'll take it down in a minute.
No guns, no knives, no modern technology. If you can find a stick while you're like en route to fighting it, you're allowed a stick. But if it's just in some open grassland, you're fucked.
Yeah. I'd probably say without the stick, probably like a sheep.
Yeah, I think a sheep's a pretty good shout.
You gotta set it aside.
At one point, I was tempted to say cow, but I've come to learn over time that cows are a lot bigger and scarier than they look.
Cows kill more people a year than sharks.
Yeah, but with a stick, I could take on a cow.
Oh yeah, with a nice sharp stick, you can easily take a cow down. Because
whereas,
at one point, I was gonna
without it. Yeah.
I was gonna start abiding by the whole principle of, oh, I feel ethical in terms of what I eat. I'm only gonna eat things that I believe I could have killed in a fair fight. And then I realized that realistically, I can't get cat meat in the UK, so I'm like kind of fucked otherwise. So I ditched that idea pretty quickly.
Cats are
fast.
Yeah,
you catch one. It's pretty easy to kill them.
And this is Pete. This is Pete talking.
Yeah.
This is Pete talking that he doesn't think he can catch a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the less racist equivalent of Speedy Gonzalez saying they're too fast to catch.
And they just jump, like they can jump really high as well. So like, how are you going to get that? And obviously, I'm quite short, so I'm going to grab that.
Talking about ethical.
He is 4'11".
Talking about ethical eating or anything. If you ever had to have something amputated, would you want to then eat it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, Ian, I told you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it. In this apocalypse, I don't think I would like. No, actually, that's it. Oh. It'd be nice to see what it tasted like, especially if it's going to waste anyway.
The apocalypse.
Apparently, humans taste like pork.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really like pork.
Similar to how you would use the excuse of an apocalypse to move to Wales. Mine would be to eat a human.
Mate, Wales is where it's at. We've already established.
Okay. I've got one final game for you before we finish off this podcast.
When are you talking about finish off this? It's 42 minutes in.
Now we're going to carry the last 10 minutes without Mr. Host.
This game's going to take a fair while, I assume.
Okay.
I hope. I have a list of conspiracy theories here. Are you guys well versed in conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Yeah, you know. What sort of conspiracy theories are we talking about?
In a second. I'm going to read out some of these conspiracy theories. I would like to see if you guys can get. So, generally, conspiracy theories come with a wild story attached to them. So it's like, yeah, you could just say the like headline of it, but there's generally a crazy ass story attached to the conspiracy theory statement. Pete, what are you going to say?
I think I'm going to start off the conspiracy theory. I don't know if you were going to mention it, but I'm going to start off with this because I have to apologize to a certain friends within Australia because on the last podcast, I mentioned I didn't have any Australian friends awkwardly to get over the conversation. And since then, I've got messaged by one of my Australian friends offended on Snapchat and WhatsApp saying he shouldn't be mentioned. So I'm actually going to name drop because they've given permission for me to name drop. So I'd like to thank Trey, Lily, Cam and Michaela for watching the podcast all the way in Australia, and I do apologize for saying I have no Australian friends. Back to the conspiracy theory, Nick. Sorry about that.
Michaela, wasn't that one of the ones that you really fancy?
What?
No, I just picked a random name. I just picked a random name.
Hey, isn't that the one you really fancy?
What did he say?
Isn't that the one you really fancy?
What? Michaela and Nick?
Yeah, I just picked one of the girls' names.
You. Nah. Nah, to be fair,
So-
I've got a thing going with one of them, but yeah.
So I've got some conspiracy theories here. I would like to see if you guys can, from just the title of them, guess what the story behind the conspiracy theory is. So, first one I'm going to go with. All I'm going to say is the word adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome. What do you think adrenochrome is?
Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome.
Oh.
Some robotic arm.
You think it's a robotic arm? What's the conspiracy theory about the robotic arm, Pete?
That the robots are gonna take over the world. I don't know.
Is it? You see, Pete doesn't realize he hasn't watched Terminator. I'm pretty sure that's like 90% of Terminator 2 is the first Terminator. They accidentally leave a robotic arm behind and they manage to replicate Terminators from the robotic arm that was left over. So Pete's conspiracy theory is basically the plot to Terminator.
My idea, adrenochrome. I don't know. That metal is all just human. Adrenaline.
All metal is just human adrenaline.
Yeah, it's what happens
Is that what
when
you're
we
going
die.
with?
It's what happens when we die. I don't know. I was working off the fact they said adrenochrome, as in crow, and I was just like, oh yes.
Chrome, like
Yeah.
Google
Come on then,
Chrome.
Mr.
Like
Yeah,
Come on then,
shiny
Mr.
thing.
Host, what is it?
that took a lot of the excitement out
So-
of me when I wasn't imagining a bird.
I'm going to tell you what adrenochrome actually is. There is a conspiracy theory that believes that. Do you remember Hillary Clinton was accused of being a demonic Satan worshipping pedophile?
Yes, along with
Accused
everything
of.
else she's been
Yeah.
accused of.
Okay, so the conspiracy theory that gave birth to that was the adrenochrome conspiracy theory, which states that there's a Hollywood elite cabal which, via the basement of a pizza shop in Hollywood or in Washington, D.C., I forget which one, are kidnapping babies and young children, killing them so that they can harvest a chemical from them called adrenochrome, with which they drink because it's the best high you'll ever get. So if you ever wondered why everyone was saying Hillary Clinton is a Satan-worshipping pedophile, that's where that came from.
So what you're saying is me and Dejan were very close.
Extremely close. Here's one for you. Prince Charles is a vampire.
Yes. What's the conspiracy theory? We went for the established fact.
Nah,
How do you think they came to that conclusion?
Look at him.
Because the bloke lives for like ever, and he looks like the bloke off SpongeBob who wants chocolates like we discussed a week or two ago.
Well, how do you think they came to that conclusion, other than the fact that he's old and wrinkled?
I don't know.
He's got association with the Nazis who are into that kind of stuff.
He likes to suck blood.
He likes to suck blood. Is that what Dejan's going for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I can tell you now, the reason that conspiracy theory came to light was because it turns out, supposedly, Prince Charles has a lineage that goes back to Vlad the Impaler.
Oh, I was thinking of
Who-
Prince Philip, not Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
Yeah.
His royal lineage goes back to Vlad the Impaler, who was the basis for Dracula.
Yeah. Vlad Dracula's die. Yeah.
And by linking one with the other, they've gone, oh, well, Prince Charles is a vampire then.
Well,
Wouldn't that make the Queen a vampire?
Technically, yes.
yeah. I mean, Vlad the Impaler famously didn't have any children. But,
Or did he?
no, he didn't. His life's very well documented.
Or did he?
Bomb.
But at least
Okay.
means that apparently the Slavs are at fault, which is nice.
Always. Oh, Dejan, I've got to tell you, I've started watching 24 from the start. First series,
Yeah.
bad guys are all Serbian.
Yeah.
It was that glory period where the show was developed before 9/11 happened, came out like a month after 9/11, so they hadn't realized that they could make all their bad guys like Middle Eastern, and they were still stuck on Eastern European.
Yeah.
So the whole premise of it comes from, well, Jack Bauer, he did a mission in Kosovo, killed this evil dictator, and now all this evil dictator's men are coming to kill him and his family, and they're all Serbian.
Yeah, and the person that the evil dictator would really have to be is related to me. That's beautiful. that's
Literally every episode, it was bringing up.
It's why we never watched 24 in my house.
Every episode, it was just bringing up time and time again. Well, these bad guys, they were doing awful things in Kosovo, genocides, XYZ, and just, we decided we just needed to send a Black Ops team in led by Jack Bauer and just take this guy out. It was justified. And now all these guys are coming to American soil and killing people.
We watched the first episode because obviously it was a big show. We had no idea what it was about. We just knew it was a big show. We watched the first episode, and my dad cried a bit.
Fair. Understandable. The first series was a bit middle-ish. I don't know how it got rebooted. So,
I mean, I'm just glad the Muslims took one for the team.
Dear.
With 9/11.
Dear.
Yugoslavia stopped being the number one hated in America.
Oh, the Sunday dinner duty there. I've seen that thumbs up. I've seen that in the background there.
Danielle just appeared at the door because I've left her in charge of roast potatoes, and she's just opened the door and went, "We'll see how the roast potatoes go." So I'm assuming she was fucked up somewhere along the way.
I feel like this is a fucking gangster shakedown. Just like, I see you got some nice roast potatoes. Be a shame if something happened to them.
Oh no!
I've got another conspiracy theory for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Finland is a lie.
Finland? I thought it was Australia
originally. We've mentioned this. We've
Oh,
mentioned
there
this
is.
on Twap.
There's an Australia one, but there's a conspiracy theory that Finland is a lie.
Peter, do you want to guess? Because I know the actual answer to this.
What?
I know
that Finland, the country, is a lie.
Yes.
Why do people think that though?
Finland doesn't exist.
Oh, why do they think that? Because it's a low population in the north of the hemisphere, and
you stumbled on it a bit, to be fair. Because it's
maybe the association.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say maybe the association with like. No, I don't know. No, you.
It's because in worldwide censuses and censi,
I knew I was going to say something about the Nazis.
Less than 1% in it. What do you mean you were about to say something about the Nazis? What did I say about the Nazis?
Because they invaded Finland, didn't they? They took over like all of Finland.
I think you're thinking of Sweden and Norway. It was the Soviet Union that fought Finland.
No, I'm thinking of Finland.
Oh, they must have been invaded by both. Anyway, I didn't say anything about the Nazis, which was what really confused me.
Because they're on the Nazi side. Actually, I think they were in a second with everything. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, a worldwide census, it has a 1%, like, what do you call it? Like, give or take. It's like, give or take 1%, and Finland has less than 1% population of the world.
So actually, the conspiracy theory is a lot more convoluted than that.
Well, yeah, it would be, to be fair. It would be.
In the Cold War, Japan and the Soviet Union supposedly shared a secret about a stretch of the Baltic Sea between the Soviet Union and Sweden.
Yeah.
Around the mid-20th century, I'm getting this from a website called culturetrip.com. Cheers, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Around the mid-20th century, the two nations collectively spread the idea that there was a landmass known as Finland on the stretch of ocean to keep the good fishing between themselves. The Japanese were free to fish as much as they liked there without worrying about international laws, so long as they gave a share to Russia.
People not think about the fact that like this is easily verifiable.
So is the conspiracy theory that the world is flat, but they still believe it.
Yeah.
The reason that they say they can back this up is because Finland isn't a popular country.
Oh.
Which is basically like saying Pete isn't real because he's not very popular.
Hey.
Can you prove you exist?
Pete ceased to exist at 17 when he lost it all.
We're going back to the first podcast. Tell you. We're gonna sell some swimming stories. Is that gonna be on Dejan's host?
Yeah, like I thought we were doing swimming stories this week.
I'm trying to keep away from the swimming stories for the time being.
Yeah.
I've got another one for you.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Here's Mr. Host. Come on, Mr. Host.
Australia isn't real.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that one.
Well, I believe that anyone who claims they live on Australia are dangerous and
what? I missed a bit of that.
Do you want to get yourself in trouble with the Australians again, Pete?
I might as well. Come on. What are you going to say, Dejan?
Nah. I'll just say like they're dangerous and also in real danger of Pete's little PD.
Oh no, no. Strike one. Come on.
Can we keep...
You've got to be able to say little PD. That is literally the like most vague euphemism I could have went for.
Yeah, and it's my euphemism as well, but we won't get into that.
I was as gentle as I could have been with that.
Yes, but it was very obvious what you were implying. Mr. Host, what were you going to say?
I've got one more conspiracy theory for you.
Oh, here we go.
Is it the one that Nicole believes in? The moon isn't real.
No. Albeit, I do stand with Nicole as a moon truther. Meghan Markle was replaced by a robot.
Who, Meghan Markle?
Meghan Markle was replaced by a robot. Don't let yourself get distracted by the fact that she's, currently pregnant. Meghan Markle is actually a robot.
You could make a robot pregnant. If you can make a robot, you can make a robot
I don't know
which
how
looks
you
pregnant.
think that would work. I do
Have
not
you ever
want
seen Rick
to
and Morty
even...
before?
Yes.
Where they do it on Rick and Morty.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you can make if we can make a robot which is that lifelike, we can probably make a robot which is that lifelike looking pregnant.
That's my point.
Also, Danielle, welcome to the podcast. You're on recording. This mic is 360 degrees. She's just been stood in the corner of a room, like, waiting for us to do something. So,
what a hero. Not all heroes.
Why do you think people think Meghan Markle was ants flashing his nipple at us now? I think they really are getting separation anxiety because apparently they don't know how to take a beef out the oven without us.
I reckon. I reckon because people just hate Meghan Markle because her deciding to marry some ginger ruined suits.
It did, to be fair. No, I quite like Meghan Markle, but that is one thing I'm not happy about. Poor Mike Ross got taken out.
Poor Mike Ross.
Why? Kill her off.
Some ginger with not an ounce of royal blood, James Herriot's son, married.
Yeah, now we're getting
Meghan Markle.
Now we're getting conspiracy.
Now we're getting the real conspiracy theories. Look at a picture of them too. He's fucking identical to his real dad.
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
I would like to see them come to Vietnam to get me.
Do you want to know the story behind this conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Yes.
People just hate Meghan Markle, that's the story.
On the Britain's Got Talent finale, Meghan and Harry were videoed in the crowd watching just like...
I That's what every fucking royal family appearance is.
Emotionless and not moving, and they just assumed that because of that actually these people have been replaced by robots.
Good evidence, to be
Now
fair.
then,
Actually, I made it to an hour. Well done.
I'm going to tell you now. I want you to decide which one of these isn't a real conspiracy theory.
Oh, that's a nicer one. I love that.
Which one of them isn't a real conspiracy theory?
I'm gonna go
Also,
for
it's the three
I'm
you've
gonna go
mentioned
for
so
I'm gonna
far.
go for the Meghan Markle.
All of them I've mentioned so far. Which one isn't real?
I'm gonna go for the Meghan Markle one. Isn't real because, like,
What was the first one again?
So the ones we've got are
Finland.
Adrenochrome, where Hillary Clinton and Hollywood cabal are harvesting the adrenochrome of dying children in order to give themselves a euphoric high.
I'm pretty all in
You've
that.
got Prince Charles. Prince Charles is a vampire because he's related to Vlad the Impaler.
I've heard of that one. I believe
Finland is a lie because Japan and Russia are actually fishing there. You've got Australia is a lie, but we've all just kind of agreed that that's real. So
Yeah, so that's
and
not
you've got
conspiracy
Meghan
theory.
Markle as a robot.
I'm going for
Which
the
one
Meghan.
of them is-
I'm going for the Meghan Markle one. The Adrenochrome is the exact amount of craziness that's needed for a conspiracy theory, an American conspiracy theory, especially. Finland also. Finland's my second most likely to be fake, but I think that also has the classic flourish.
You want to know the answer?
What?
Yeah.
Trick question. All of these crazy ass fucking things are things that people actually believe.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that.
That upsets me,
Boom.
actually, because
They're all fucking real.
That actually upsets me. That was almost a masterful game.
There are actually people out there who believe that Finland doesn't exist because Japan is busy fishing there.
Oh, I knew
Ignoring
that,
the fact that Japan happily fishes everywhere else in the world and fucking kills all the whales. On that happy note,
yeah. Go.
I'm gonna end the podcast there so I can go and slap my beef.
I wonder how much your family's gonna bully you being late.
A lot. Dejan, do you want to take us through the outro? Since, every other week the hosts fail to do it, so we might as well keep this up as a trend.
I mean, it's going to be a 10-minute long outro in order to make it the normal PND-Cast length.
I don't give a fuck about what the normal and the host.
No, we'll have after credit scene with Dejan.
Okay.
We will not slag off the host. We won't.
So
do that.
is it going to be after credits? Am I wrapping up now and then we go to do it?
Yeah,
and then
wrap
we go...
it up. Yeah, wrap it up, and then we'll do it. So
Okay.
that if anyone wants to stay behind, they can kind of get it.
All right, thanks for watching PND-Cast episode 3, the conspiracy theory episode. It maybe existed, it maybe didn't. Who knows?
You can't prove that this episode existed.
Follow.
Dejan, where can we find us all on social media?
Oh, Twitter. We can be all found on Twitter. I am at Dejan Eid because that's my name. Peter doesn't have it, and Nick is at FB Hyde.
You can also follow us on Twitch, where we stream this live. It's at PWAP.
No, it's not. It's
official.
No. Podcast without a purpose. All spelled out.
Oh, you've got the Christian name. Okay. At Podcast Without a Purpose on Twitch. I'm at FB_Hyde on Twitch, I think. It's one way around it or another. Who gives a shit?
I don't know why you're saying at for Twitch. Just gonna throw that out there.
Dejan, stop questioning the host. Right. Let's call it there.
Peter also doesn't.
I'm gonna disconnect now so these guys can talk some mad shit about me. Bye, guys.
See you later, Nicholas. We will not complain.
I'm just gonna.
Fucking not.
There you go. I'm just gonna do that. We don't need the logo. We don't need the logo. Bye, Nick.
Bye.
Yes, he's gone. He's gone. The host. What a terrible host. We'd just like to say, between me and you, Dejan, and the rest of our audience, Nick's the worst host so far. Taking it.
Yeah. He was looking chubby as well, wasn't he?
No, we're not badgering his character. No, don't get too personal. No, Dejan, no. We don't do that on here. Oh no, poor Nick. Poor Nick's just
Oh,
chilling. To be
I
fair, he was
went,
20 minutes late, so he
I
probably
went,
deserved
I
that.
went,
But
I went for like the first insult I could think of. I like, I don't know why it was chubby.
poor guy's gonna listen to it later and go, "Oh, I thought I looked nice."
He was overexposed. He needs a new webcam.
It's just what am I looking like? I look a bit. I look about 12 today. Actually, I think.
Yeah, you are
To
looking.
be fair, I look like 12 every day.
Yeah, I wonder how you make the football players respect you.
But for reffing, nah. Oh, I can't. So we've had 3 episodes now. What time we're at?
An hour 5 minutes. So we usually go an hour
Hour
12, or we go between an hour 12 and an hour 20, and that cuts down to just over an hour.
Yeah, we'll go for another 5 minutes. We won't make the outward intro too long because
Yeah.
we like to keep them with a free word. But so we had the conspiracy theories today. So first episode was about what was the first episode? I can't even remember what was really in it. We were going through a load of quotes and things like that, weren't
Yeah,
we, on the
yeah.
first one?
Richard Madley, Sylvia Berlusconi. You know.
And the second one was my host, so it was just a bunch of random tick box
Yeah.
/ memories from the freeway. And then this one, I'd probably say the theme of conspiracy theories.
I might.
So for the next
I might do a nice little quiz. A nice little
quiz,
PND pop quiz.
well, that might be quite good. So what's the quiz going to be based on for the audience? Have we got any ideas?
I'm gonna go for our lives. And just general subjects, just random bullshit.
Oh, that might be a quite good theme, actually. That is quite a good one.
Of 2 weeks.
Because we're going to do the swimming club stories. It'll have to come up eventually because we've teased that.
Well,
But
I imagine swimming cup stories is most likely your episode again. I feel like you're the story host.
On the story host, I do like that.
I'm chaotic. Nick has actual topics he wants to talk about. Like that shocked me. That really sideline like just came out of nowhere for me because I was just like, it's just a nice podcast about us, just like talking about random shit, about our lives. You know, we have the checklist, and then 2 hours ago Nick was just like, we're going to talk about conspiracy theories today.
You know, I did say it earlier on. He did say it like last week, to be fair to him. But
Did he?
he chose. I thought he was going to go for more like popular conspiracy theories. Like if we're going to go on the conspiracy theory theme still for the little outro bit.
What's really funny though that he went for conspiracy theories is that like one of my old one of mine and Nick's old friends from college. You might get from my tone I'm not too hot on him, but you know that doesn't matter. He's just released a video about how pretty much every conspiracy theory, when you dig down, is anti-Semitic. Like, literally today, that videos came out saying that, like, all conspiracy theories are anti-Semitic. And then Nick's just be like, we're going to talk about conspiracy theories.
I think he's copied. He's copied. We did not copy. We did not copy. In case anyone was wondering. Or got anything else?
To be fair, this lad calls everything anti-Semitic. It's a bit weird.
That's well. How's say Princess Diana surviving? Dying.
I don't know, Pete. I didn't watch the video.
There's a few that probably could, like the JFK. You probably could somehow.
Yeah, and there's some which obviously are like the Rothschild conspiracy. That that has roots in anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
You know, the idea
that's quite it. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. A little bit of a weird obsession that he has about everything.
I do quite like a conspiracy theory. Obviously, it's my job occupation to teach a bit of history, and like the good old JFK conspiracy theory is a good one. You're obviously not supposed to teach conspiracies, but it's like that. I guess it's interpretations, history, isn't it? It's all about interpretations. You're supposed to trust the interpretation with someone with a bit of experience rather than the social media interpretation, mind. But
yeah,
I guess it is kind of valid.
I mean,
in a sense.
I mean, I'll say that obviously I did history to I did ancient history at degree level for a year, so
Yeah.
I learned a lot of I learned a lot of random bullshit. But like the most interesting subject which I ever did was in history was was ancient economy, the economies of ancient Greece and ancient Rome.
That's pretty cool.
You
We
did-
the GCSE course now for EdXL does crime and punishment in
That's pretty
England
cool.
from 1,000 to 2,000, for 1,000 to 1,900. It's like the 11th century, I guess, till the 20th century. Oh, no, 18th century. Sorry.
You know, there was
Mhm.
once a woman in England who survived 7 swings of the axe at her execution, and she was let go because it was classed as God didn't want her to die.
She was definitely from Jarrah.
Well, apparently what she did was she swallowed when it came down. She swallowed at the right moment, which like strengthened the back of her neck.
And
And
survived.
dangerous there. Apparently that's what she did. That's what she said she did when she was asked. But I don't know why she said she did anything, because like that's a bit of a risk when everyone's been just like, oh, let her live, she's wanted by God. Well, actually, I was quite clever.
Yeah, after, and then be like, we got you now, witch.
Talking on history, do you want to know what the oldest joke ever recorded is? Obviously, I'm a comedian and a historian. It is.
What is it?
There's a man sitting at a bar at an inn, and he mentions a tree. There's one solitary tree in the like garden area, whatever, just outside, and he questions why everywhere else has been felled, but they leave that one tree. And the bartender says, "Oh, the cursed tree. 2 of my wives have hung themselves on it." To which the man asking the questions replies, "Oh, could I borrow it?"
Oh no.
The oldest,
Oh no.
the oldest joke ever recorded is a classic "I want my wife to die" joke.
That's not ideal. Well, it is. It's not too woke generation, is it?
No,
Not too Gen Z
no.
of us. Well, I'm the first person who made the joke.
I mean, it's not a great joke as well, but they had to start somewhere. Obviously, one-liners weren't really a thing for years.
My favorite one is, and it's still, this is a primary school one. Why did the snooker player go to the toilet?
What?
To pot the brown.
I don't know.
It's awful. It's awful. But when every time someone goes, "Do you know a joke?" I just go back to primary school and just think, "Oh no," and go straight to that pot the brown joke every time.
I always like my favorite joke is an Emo Phillips joke. It's relatively long, but I'll tell it. Emo Phillips, he's a very weird looking guy. He looks like an emo, which is quite funny, seeing he was years before emos.
To Nick 2014.
Yeah.
Got it.
But like he was years before emos. I reckon emos all copied him.
Based themselves off him.
Yeah, because he is called Emo Phillips. But anyway, he said just like, what's oh shit, let me remember this joke. Oh my god, it's the first time I've ever forgotten it. It's one of my favorites. When I was little, my parents said emo never go near the cellar door. But one day when they were out, I gathered up my courage and I went through that door. And I saw wonderful weird things I'd never seen before. Like the trees, the grass, the sun. Oh, the sun was particularly nice.
God, he's a bit emo, isn't he? Bit dark. Right. I think on that emo note, black referee will be black referee in top.
Yeah.
We'll end it there. Let's get rid of Craig.
Aye.
Bit of an outro there, but the basic general thing before we end it is Dejan hosted the first one, Nick hosted the second one, I hosted the second one, Nick hosted the third one. So it's Dejan next, and it looks like we're gonna do a pop quiz. So I look forward to that in 2 weeks' time. it's probably going to be around the same time. We normally do it between 2 and 4 o'clock. So if you're trying to get it live, you can pop in. But to be honest, it's probably nice to just get on the Spotify later on. But we do like it if people can watch it live. But
it is. I mean,
thanks for the
yeah. I don't know what like. We don't really talk to chat, so it doesn't really matter if I'm watching us live. So but
yeah, exactly.
you get video, which is nice.
Yeah, and
Look at that on
obviously,
Spotify.
I'm going to try and get on YouTube eventually, but yeah, on Spotify at the moment, and we're enjoying live. See if we can get more views in the last 2. But yeah, no, thanks for listening, basically, and Dejan, when you're ready, you can get rid of War Craig and his mate.
All right, there you go, and